is T minus 7 days. And I am getting really excited because my surgery is upcoming so soon. And it's been a long time coming. Well, today's topic in our weight loss surgery is all about LRD and what diet I'm on. Now, I hear you say, what? You're on a diet, but you're going in for weight loss surgery. That makes absolutely no sense. I agree. It didn't at first. It really didn't. And I'm going to explain why they do this and why you have to go on a diet before you go on for surgery. So interesting, isn't it? Anyway, I've got two responses. One is my own thinking, and one is the real reason for having to do this as per the instructions of the medical team. So let's go with, first of all, a little bit of anatomy. For those of us who are a little older, haven't been for school in a million years, liver, because that's what the L is, LRD, liver reducing diet. There you go. Mystery solved? Not so much, no. Why do you need to reduce your liver? How do you reduce your liver? Can you reduce your liver size? Seriously, all these questions. Anyway, I figured out through lots of research all the information I needed, and my surgeons all gave me all the information I need, and the dietitian. So here we go. Liver reducing diet is required from a medical perspective. I'll try and make sure I come back to my own thoughts on it as well. The liver sits above your stomach. So the liver is here. Okay, you can't quite see, but that's where your liver sits. And part of that rests over the top of your stomach. Now, I suppose it makes sense if you actually think about it, which none of us do unless we're surgeons, that the liver is going to be in the way of the surgeon getting to the stomach. And what do you do about that? So what you're having is keyhole surgery, right? There's another name for that, isn't it? Anyway, that's the one where they give you 5 little holes in your stomach. Each one is a probe or a tool, grabby thingy, snippy thingy, all those things that they push through these holes. And they inflate your belly up with, is it CO2? I don't know. Doesn't matter anyway. Not for me. As long as they do it with the right stuff, I'm happy. So they inflate your stomach up as much as they can to get as much access into your abdominal cavity as they can. One of the holes that they put through has a grippy thing or a lifty thing that pulls the liver out of the way of the stomach and lifts it out of the way during the surgery. Makes sense. You don't want the liver there. Could get nicked, damaged, and basically just be a nuisance. However, if you go in with a normal sized liver, it's really large and it's quite firm, and that's not ideal. So what you do is you diet a special liver reducing diet for 2 weeks. That's what mine is. I believe some people have to do it for longer, and I believe the criteria for that is how much weight you're carrying. What happens after 2 weeks of this liver reducing diet is your liver shrinks, not permanently, it just, that's naturally what it does. And it also, because it's shrunk, it's kind of more floppy, okay? And that's great for the surgeon because this lifting device can scoop it up and kind of pull it out of the way. So that's why you do it. And it's essential. I have a friend of the family who went into surgery for a bariatric surgery, and he was in a ward with a woman who was before him on the list. She went down for surgery, and within whatever it was an hour, she was back, which was not kind of normal. And apparently he found out that she had lied and not done the liver reducing diet. And when they had put all the probes and everything in and inflated and the camera was there, the liver was well too extended and firm, and they couldn't keep it out of the way of the stomach, and therefore they couldn't do the surgery. She was closed up again and sent back home. Now, my personal view is that I'm paying for my surgery out of necessity. I would have dearly loved to have had it free on the NHS, but sadly that's not possible, as I've said in the past. But sometimes if you're giving stuff for free, it's not entirely free, don't get me wrong. We pay national insurance to cover the cost of the National Health Service. However, the small contributions we give certainly doesn't allow you to go for all these big fancy surgeries without it costing a huge amount of money to the country, to the NHS. And it's so irresponsible. But sometimes if you get stuff free, you just don't appreciate it. And that might be the problem with probably not that many cases, but some people do this apparently. So there you go. That's reason number one. The other reason I think you have to do it, and this makes sense in my brain, is that I'm on a reduced calorie diet for 2 weeks before surgery. I actually went on a reduced diet 4 weeks ago, yeah, because in case they had a cancellation, I could be slotted in. And it gets you used to eating less. When you go into surgery, you eat, 1,500 calories a day or something for a woman and 2,000 or so for a man, thereabouts. And when you have had your surgery, you literally can only eat the tiniest little portions of food at a time. And I know when they cut the stomach out, these hormones go with it. Some of them, not all of them, obviously, but some of them go. So you won't feel as hungry, but I still think you're going to feel hungry if you're eating such tiny amounts, if you've been eating 2,000 calories a day beforehand. So for me, it just feels right to reduce the amount you eat beforehand, so that by the time you come to the surgery, your body's kind of used to eating small portions anyway. And bearing that in mind, I came to that conclusion because I live with a family of foodies. I cannot tell you, they're all passionate about good food. And along comes me. Totally just not interested too much in food. If you put food in front of me, I'll eat it. I'll eat most things apart from fish and shellfish, which gives me anaphylaxis, phylactic shock. And so I'm a bit of an oddball in my family. They all know that anyway. So for me, it's easy. I can fast easily. I can eat a little bit and I'm satisfied, and I can go without food if I have to. So for me, it's easy, but it is not easy for everybody. So I understand why this can be really helpful and difficult to do for 2 weeks before you go into surgery. But that is my idea of why. So I'm looking at my notes. Don't forget, I have notes that I've got to follow along with, because these notes are on my blog, and you can go to the blog and you'll see them there. Right, so I've told you about where this stomach and the liver are in your body. And I've told you about it being plump, and now you want it to reduce in size, shrink in size, so that it can be lifted up and moved out of the way during your surgery. When I say moved and lifted out of the way, it's inside your body cavity, okay? They don't pull the liver out through a hole and push it aside and do the surgery and stuff it back in. No, nothing like that. It's inside your abdominal cavity. Right. Now you have choice. That's the other thing. Your liver-reducing diet, you have 3 choices. Most countries I've looked up and all over the UK, they're all much of a muchness. 3 choices. You can do the restricted portion size, which is like a menu-based diet, between 800 and 1,000 calories a day. There, they'll give you a little recipe sheet which will say have 2 eggs scrambled for breakfast, and then a snack of this and something for lunch and whatever. So that is option 1. Option 2 is a calorie-controlled eating plan, and that means you have 800 calories per day. However, they suggest you only use that option if you're familiar with calorie counting. I am, and that's why I chose option 2. And I use an app to record everything that I eat and drink, absolutely everything. And the app is MyFitnessPal, absolutely brilliant app. There's the free version, is really, really good. And then there's lots of stuff additionally that you can get if you pay for the app as well. But it's definitely one of the better ones out there, and I know a lot of surgeons recommend it. So that was eating plan number 2, which is what I'm on. Then you get option number 3. What can I say? If you are a total lover of milk, this one might suit you. Not me, no. A milk plan consists of 3 pints of milk per day. 3 pints? A pint. What's a pint? Just under half a litre, yeah? 2 low-fat and sugar-free yogurts a day, but only less than 200 grams. And also, what's the other thing? My daughter's just arrived, so excuse me while I have a quick chat to her. She's giving me the look. You want to say hi to the camera? I'm live. Anyway, she's here to collect some stuff. You know where it is. It's by the door. Help yourself. Sit down, rest. I'll be finished in a minute. So there you go. I was so careful to time my video live, so while my husband's at the gym, and I put notifications off. And what happens? The daughter arrives. Some things you can't account for. I love you, see. Right. So where was I? Meal plan 3. I'm sorry. Milk. 2 pints of milk. 3 pints of milk a day, and 2 200-gram fat-free yogurts, and as many low-calorie and no-sugar fluids as you like. No. After surgery, you're going to have to eat a clear liquid diet for 2 weeks, and then a slightly not so clear liquid diet, like pureed liquid, for another 2 weeks, and then slowly introduce soft mashed potato and stuff like that. I don't want to be drinking liquids for 2 weeks before my surgery as well as after. So those are the reasons I vetoed that one. And I don't really like milk that much anyway. Then finally, I want to just give you a couple of ideas of things that I eat. And this is where, if you want to contact me and ask me for more details, I'm happy to do that. But really, the dietitian will tell you all of this anyway. And if you search online, there's tons of people who tell you what to do. Just be careful who you listen to out there, okay? 50% of the internet, like everything, is fine, and 50% is not so fine, peeps. So for me, daily I will have at least 1 decaf tea with a teaspoon of milk. I will have at least 1 Americano decaf with a couple of tablespoons of milk. I may have 1 or 2 of those a day, and they're very, very low in calories. I try to drink at least 1.5 liters of liquid a day, but it sometimes is really hard. I mean, water, sometimes a bit harder. And I might have 1 glass of sugar-free squash a day. I drink it so weak. I take one of these, big bottle things, and I put 1 teaspoon of sugar-free squash in that. So it's hardly anything at all. It's got no calories or anything anyway, but I don't like it sweet. And the less sweet you have now, the better you are going forward as well. I have sugar-free jellies, low-fat sugar-free yogurts, salads, obviously, but not potato salad. I'm talking green salads with things like lettuce, onion, tomato, peppers, beans, seeds, all sorts of things in them. Yeah, carrots. One of my favorite things is konjac noodles. Now, have you heard of konjac noodles? If you haven't, and you are on a calorie restricted diet, get to the shops or online and find konjac noodles and konjac rice. Konjac. And with that, konjac is a plant, pardon me, and I mix that with broth and vegetables. Makes an under 100 calorie meal. Sorry, I get asthma. Every time I do this choky business, I get asthma. I also have whey powder isolate in shakes. I've created some lovely shakes, some coffee shakes, some peanut butter powder shakes, all sorts. I obviously include chia seeds in either my food or I drink it with some water. And chia seeds are for fiber because the extra fiber you have to eat means you will get constipated. And hopefully the chia seeds keep everything moving. I do not want to go to hospital with constipation. And it just feels to me like you're starting off in a bad place. I'd rather just get it out of the way and not have to worry that afterwards I'm having to eat a lot of protein and it could get worse. So start off with your bowel movements, your stomach working really well beforehand. That's just my advice. I eat all homemade, all healthy foods, and I have very little fat and I have very little sugar in my diet anyway. And I've just continued to do that. So with that said, I'm not an expert. I'm certainly not a dietitian or a surgeon or have any qualifications whatsoever. This is all simply my journey and how things are going for me on this journey to health and losing weight. Everyone will be different, but this is hopefully going to demystify some of the processes behind weight loss surgery. And as I keep reiterating, it's to take some of the stigma, hopefully, away from weight loss surgery. And, my niece said to me the other day, it's a really divisive subject, and she's right. I agree with her 100%. It really is. So this is all about my journey, but if I can help you in any small way with just how it's gone for me, then that will have been worth it. So thank you, everybody, for being here and for watching, whether that's later, sooner. Questions, let me know. Contact me through YouTube or through my blog as well, where you can ask questions and I can try and answer to the best of my knowledge. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye.